So we've got the 2 bikes and a whole bunch of camping gear set up for me and my mom's overnight getaway. We've been packing and trying to get everything ready for the last hour, and now the time has finally come. Time to hit the road and drive down to Carter Lake. So after all this packing and planning, I'm finally in the truck. My mom and I are driving separate vehicles so we can leave one at the end of the trail and then take the other one at the beginning of the trail to start our adventure down Carter Lake. All right, so let the adventure begin. Just pulling into the Carter Lake trailhead. So we're leaving the truck here and then we're taking off to go to the next, where are we going?
Crescent Lake Trailhead.
Well, we made it to the trailhead and we're just gearing up all the bikes. Time to start the trek up to the Crescent Lake Saddle Cabin. And as always, safety first. My mom asked me if I wanted to go for a bike ride today. I said, yeah, sure. And then she convinced me to bike up this trail to this cabin, and I'm just figuring out it's gonna be a 12-mile bike up this steep trail. Well, at least I get to spend some fun time with my mom, so I'm not complaining. Well, we're at the 3.5-mile marker, so just about a third of the way there. Stopping to get a quick water break and then marching on up this hill. So we have now made it 6 miles and we're headed right on the primitive trail. So we're halfway there, but now we're switching trails onto this unmaintained trail, so it's looking a little bit rocky and unmaintained. But anyway, halfway there. Can't wait to get to the cabin. They weren't kidding when they said unmaintained. I don't know if you can see all these little bugs, but there's approximately 1 million of them just buzzing around us. They're not really biting, but they're just flying in and out of your ears and under your glasses and just everywhere. It's very annoying. Taking a quick snack break and then we're gonna keep on going down the road. Looks like a tree is falling in our way. Water bottles are empty, so we're filling them up at the creek. 10 flies on each leg. It doesn't help to stop and swat at them because it just is better to keep moving. Well, got a little wet crossing the creek, but what's an adventure without falling off your bike into the creek? Tent camping right there. Usually that means we're getting close to a cabin. So according to the iWatch, we've got 9 miles, which means that we're 3/4 of the way there, except this last quarter is definitely proving to be the most treacherous. Crossing creeks, crossing over trees. This unmaintained trail is very hard to get a heavy bike through. And it's also the last leg of the trip, and we've been going for about 3 hours now, so it is definitely tiring and a workout, and we would be really happy to see the cabin right about now. Oh, did I mention the million of flies that are buzzing around us at all times? We're trying to get over to that end of it where the cabin is. The banks on either side of the trail are nearly as tall as the tire. Nearly impossible to pedal because your pedals keep catching on the sides of this super narrow trail. So it's pretty frustrating and slow moving, but you know, we're getting quality mother or son time, so it's worth it. Just when we thought we'd had enough and we're fed up with the bugs and all this bad trail, way over yonder there's a cabin. Still looks at least a mile off, but it's awesome to see the visual of where we're gonna be spending the night tonight. We're almost there. We are making great progress. Just right there's the cabin. 300 yards away and then peace at last. Down there, mama. A heavy bike and a steep incline will get anybody. When this woman has her mind made up, there's nothing stopping her. Well, after going through miles of poisonous pushki plants and stinging nettles, we crossed 5 creeks and ate about 20 bugs each. And after just under 12 miles of hard biking, we have finally made it to the cabin.
Got a nice hot fire going. Gonna cook some burritos on top of the stove. Brought out some wine to enjoy here by the fire. Living life pretty large. Sipping on some wine, hanging out at the cabin with my mom. Well, I finally got the cabin warming up with this fire and I've got some food in my belly. Well, our average pace trudging through this terrible trail was 2.5 miles an hour. At least half the time we were walking our bikes. So it was pretty tough going. It was a lot of hard work. But we're excited to be here at this cabin. Gonna go jump in this freezing cold lake, run back into this warm cabin, and then it's time to turn in and get some sleep. Alright, my mom just came back from her cold bath in the lake, and now I am making my way down to the lake to do the same. Definitely time to head back inside. I'm freezing. Having fun underneath the midnight sun here in Alaska. It is still plenty bright out even though it's midnight. But even though it's still bright out, it is time for us to get some sleep. Alright, see you guys in the morning. Good morning, everybody. We're eating some granola. It is a beautiful day out there. We're gonna pack up, clean up the cabin, and then jump on the bikes. Well, we're almost done packing up all of our stuff. Now it's just time to sweep out the cabin. We want to leave the cabin cleaner than it was, which is going to be pretty easy because the last people kind of left it pretty messy. Alright, we got the cabin all cleaned up. Time to hit the road. So we've got 3 miles to go all along the lake until we get to the end. Those first 3 miles are going to be pretty slow and tough going with all this overgrown trail. And then the next 3 miles is practically all downhill into the Carter Lake trailhead. So definitely going to be a shorter bike today, which we are looking forward to. And looking forward to getting back to the ranch. There's still snow in July. The dew from the morning is still covering all of this grass. So as we're trudging through this thick trail, we're just getting sopping wet, and this is how you thoroughly enjoy Alaska right here. At least it's a nice sunny day to keep us warm even though we're sopping wet. I've always wanted to try out the fat tire bike on snow. Devil's Club on the left, Devil's Club on the right. Push ski everywhere. Oh, good times. We are looking forward to getting on this downhill nice trail and smoking out of here. Finally made it to the spot where the trail tees with a nice trail, so we should be pretty smooth riding from here on out. Just about 3 more miles to the car.
nice thing about these fat tire bikes is tires are so big and flat that when you like ride over a root or a rock, it kind of just floats right over those obstacles. So they're definitely a lot of fun for backcountry backpacking trips like we're doing right now. All right, mama. So that right there is Carter Lake, and just beyond that is Crescent Lake, which is what we're spending most of the time going around. And now we've made it to, it's all downhill from here, folks. Hi guys. We have made it back to the trailhead. Look, our truck's still here. Well, it's 12:45 now, so we did that last 6-mile leg of the trip in 2.5 hours. So after carrying that heavy backpack and biking 18 miles, it is time to make the drive back home and then get back to the real life and go back to work. Well, thanks for coming along on this adventure with us. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing, and we'll see you guys next time.